Hi, I'm Eric Steven, and this is To the Main Event. That's where I take a superstar or diva and send them to the main event of the grandest stage there is. Today's offering is the one and only Cherry Bomb. What, you thought we just had to stick to WWE? For those that don't watch indie wrestling, first off, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're only getting part of the picture. If WWE is all you know, then you need to get re-educated. I know there's a ton of promotions out there, and I know it can get overwhelming. I recommend starting with Smash Wrestling. It's a promotion based out of Canada. They put on excellent events every month. I strongly suggest you check them out. I really need to get one of their t-shirts. Maybe one will magically appear in my mailbox. Women's wrestling in the independent circuit begins and ends with Cherry Bomb. She is women's wrestling. There are tons of other female wrestlers in the indie scene that I'm a big fan of also, but we're not going to talk about them today, mainly because they won't respond to me on Twitter. Just a little bit of backstory on Cherry Bomb. She's probably owned at some point every female belt you can own in independent wrestling. For those that don't know about Cherry Bomb's character, she's what happens when you cross Black Canary's Canary Cry with an anime character. I'm the best wrestler there is! I'm the best wrestler there is! So how do we take Cherry Bomb, who is a female wrestler in the independent circuit, all the way to the event? This is how. So I previously mentioned Smash Wrestling. Well, this weekend there is going to be an event that has Cherry Bomb going up against her longtime rival, Courtney Rush. It began because Cherry Bomb thought Courtney Rush could use a little bit of a makeover and gave her a little bit of a haircut, okay? Courtney Rush did not like that. I'm sorry, but Cherry Bomb is a professional wrestler. She's not a professional hairstylist. Courtney Rush should have known that. There was even one point where Courtney Rush tried to carjack Cherry Bomb, okay? And Cherry Bomb's supposed to be the heel? Come on, guys. I don't see her carjacking anybody. Courtney Rush also goes by a different name. She goes by Crazy Mary in TNA Impact. I don't see any reason why this rivalry has to end in Smash Wrestling. It could continue on to TNA. One day Cherry Bomb just shows up. Her and her husband Pepper Parks, they just show up at TNA. You thought you could just run away from me? You thought you could do that? I'm Cherry Bomb! So then that continues the rivalry there. You know, and that the reason I picked TNA right away is because it gets her on national TV, it gets her in front of the public eye, and also TNA, the cool thing about TNA Impact is that they also allow their wrestlers to do more indie work, and that's going to come into play later. So they get into their rivalry. Pepper Parks is doing his thing over on the side. He's just dominating the independent scene. He's going for the King of the Mountain championship. Cherry Bomb starts working her way up the ladder in TNA. She takes out Crazy Mary. She takes out the Dollhouse. She takes out the beautiful people. And then she has her eyes on Gail Kim. It goes on for a few months, but she eventually comes out on top. And she wins the TNA Women's Championship belt. And I would say she has to hold on to this belt for a while. People keep challenging her, she takes them all down. She is women's wrestling. And she's not gonna let you forget that. It finally gets to the point where Cherry Bomb is getting complacent, and she's like, there is nobody here that can challenge me for this belt. I'm holding up the belt right now. There is nobody here that can challenge me for this belt. And she's right. So she tells Dixie Carter, I'm taking your women's championship and I'm going elsewhere. And where does she go? They go to Evolve. But what's special about this promotion is that Triple H and William Regal frequent it quite a bit, scouting talent. They scout talent a lot from Evolve. So Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb go to Evolve. And she's got the TNA women's belt there. She's defending it there and making an impact on Evolve. See what I did there? So William Regal is scouting one day. William Regal's scouting one day. Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb just say something flippant to him. Something like that. Eventually it gets to the point where they're like, we're so much better than anybody you've got on your NXT roster. Anybody you've got on your NXT roster. William Regal's like, I highly doubt that. We have some of the top talent. And what's the most you've accomplished? The TNA Women's Championship, the King of the Hill Championship for Pepper Parks. And that just sets Cherry Bomb off. And then Pepper Parks, boom, sucker punches William Regal. William Regal gets up, wipes his mouth. You want a shot at the best competition in the world? You've got it. We'll see you at NXT. Except he says it British. We'll see you at NXT. But on one condition, William Regal says, you are not to bring that belt. So Cherry Bomb vacates the title, the women's title from TNA. And they go to NXT now. Pepper Parks is making his statement. He's over in the men's division doing his thing. He's taking on Finn Balor, he's taking on Samoa Joe. It doesn't matter if they're faces, heels, he doesn't care because that's who Pepper Parks is. He does not care. He's also muscular. Very muscular. So Cherry Bomb, who's also muscular in her own right, she's in the women's division. And she has her eyes set on Bayley. She doesn't care about Emma, Eva Marie. She doesn't care about any of them. All she has her eyes set on is Bayley, the NXT Women's Champion. And Bayley's probably been the NXT Women's Champion for this amount of time anyway. And again, it's the same as with Gail Kim. She eventually conquers. It gets to the point where she's complacent. I've done everything! I need a challenge! They decide they need more competition, and they go up to the main roster. They don't even wait to be invited. They just go. They just go to the main roster. Meanwhile, she's still defending her title on NXT. She's still kicking butt on NXT. She's still winning matches on NXT. So she hasn't lost her women's championship yet. So Cherry Bomb's doing double duty. She's fighting on the main roster and on the NXT roster. And she's still got the NXT belt. And then meanwhile, John Cena is winning his 16th championship. So he's now tied with Ric Flair. So John Cena is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And this can happen in like October. So just know that John Cena is champion right now. Meanwhile, also, Pepper Parks is cleaning house. And then he decides, you know what? I want the tag team championship. But it was his tag partner. His tag partner is Cherry Bomb. And he's like, we're doing this, and we're going up against the New Day. The New Day doesn't want to fight Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb because they think they're booty. A Survivor Series, it's set up. It's Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb versus New Day for the WWE Tag Team Championship. It's a close match. It goes back and forth. There's a lot of submission moves. There's a lot of big endings. There's a lot of Kofi Kingston flips and everything, and a lot of near pinfalls. But eventually, Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb come out on top. And so now, they are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. So now Cherry Bomb has 2 titles now. She has the NXT Women's Championship and the WWE Tag Team Championship. And now she's got that taste, and she's not gonna stop. But unfortunately, we have to go to TLC where they have the rematch. It's a ladder match and against New Day, and they overcome. She wants the Divas Championship. She challenges Charlotte at the Royal Rumble for her championship. She's like, I've got 2 titles, you've got 1. You need to bow down to me! And then she does the thing. She says, you're nothing without your daddy. And of course, Charlotte's like, ah, ah. She accepts Cherry Bomb's challenge. So that leaves Pepper Parks with entering the Royal Rumble. Now we get to the Royal Rumble itself. And they put on a clinic, Charlotte and Cherry Bomb. It's an amazing match. It's actually the first contender for the match of the year at the Slammies that year. It's going to be that good. It's going to be that good. Charlotte puts her in the figure 4. And it looks like Cherry's gonna tap out. She can't stand it anymore. She can't stand it anymore. But these women have been going for a long time now here. But then she flips it. She reverses it on Charlotte. And Charlotte taps to her own move, her own finishing move. And Cherry Bomb is the new WWE Divas Champion. So now she's got 3 belts. Then we go to the Royal Rumble match. And Pepper Parks has been making a statement, going up against the New Day, going up against all these other people, putting on matches. So he's in the Royal Rumble match. And he comes in somewhere in the middle, like number 15, and he's just throwing bodies off of him over the ropes. They're just slipping right off of him because he's a well-oiled machine. So that's what's happening. They're just going over the top ropes. And then it comes down to 2 competitors. It comes down to Pepper Parks and Dolph Ziggler. The crowd is going wild because it's finally Dolph Ziggler's time. It's finally his time. He's going to the main event of WrestleMania. He's facing John Cena for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. All he has to do is throw Pepper Parks over the top rope. Pepper's oiled up. He's oiled up. Dolph can't do it. Dolph can't get the grip. He goes for the zigzag. He can't. He falls off. And he gets thrown over the top rope. Everything changes. So Dolph Ziggler has been eliminated. Pepper Parks is on his way to WrestleMania to face John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Cherry Bomb gets into the ring and celebrating with her man. Power couple, yeah. And Dolph Ziggler's on the outside of the ring. And you can tell this just crushes his entire spirit squad. Grabs a chair, dives back into the ring, and just starts laying into Pepper Parks. Blood's going everywhere. He's doing that thing where he sticks the leg in the chair. He sticks the leg in the chair, jumps on it. Oh, Pepper Parks is officials are running out, blood everywhere. It's crazy. And that's how the Royal Rumble ends. Next night on Raw, Pepper Parks is injured. He's not going to be able to compete in WrestleMania. What to do? So Dolph Ziggler makes his case. Since he was the last one to be eliminated, it should be his spot to face John Cena. Cherry Bomb says, "Not so fast!" And she comes walking down to the ring. Pepper Parks is my man. I'm the only one here that should be taking his spot. And they're like, whoa, what? So John Cena, the champ, comes down to the ring. He's got a few choice words for Dolph Ziggler for ruining his match with Pepper Parks. And then, of course, he says a few derogatory terms to Cherry Bomb because when you're a face, you can degrade women. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. The Authority comes out and they say that we're going to make history. At Fastlane, it's going to be Dolph Ziggler versus Cherry Bomb for the number 1 contendership at WrestleMania. It's on like Donkey Kong. Fastlane comes. Dolph Ziggler and Cherry Bomb are evenly matched. Dolph goes for the zigzag. Boom! Pulls Cherry Bomb down. He goes to cover her. 1, 2. He gets pulled out of the ring. By who? Pepper Parks! But of course the ref doesn't see it. The ref doesn't see it. He just thinks Dolph slid out on his own. Dolph Ziggler just snaps and just starts wailing into Pepper Parks, just wailing into him. And Pepper doesn't get the chance to fight back. He's just wailing into him. Officials have to run out to separate him. And so they finally just call the match. They just call the match and declare Cherry Bomb the winner. Because Dolph Ziggler obviously had no interest in finishing this match. So she wins by default. She's going to WrestleMania to fight John Cena. They're at WrestleMania. She's facing John Cena. Main event. Pepper Parks is in her corner. It's a pretty one-sided affair for the most part. You know, John Cena doing this stuff and doing this stuff. Hustle, loyalty, respect! But, you know, Cherry Bomb's still getting her moves in. She's still doing her thing, She's ducking and diving. She's putting on a good show here. John Cena whips her into the turnbuckle. He puts her on top of the turnbuckle and goes to do the AA. But as she's coming down, she clips the referee and he gets knocked out. That's when Pepper Parks takes his chance, jumps in the ring, and starts beating on John Cena. They're going back and forth. Uh-oh, here comes Dolph Ziggler down the ramp. He goes to super kick Pepper Parks, but Pepper Parks ducks, and it hits John Cena, knocking him out. Pepper Parks grabs Dolph Ziggler, throws him over the rope, and starts fighting with him outside the ring, keeping him away from the ring. Cherry Bomb crawls over to John Cena, puts her arm over him, and the referee comes to. 1, 2, 3, and Cherry Bomb is now your WWE Tag Team Champion, your NXT Women's Champion, your WWE Divas Champion, and the first ever WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And that's how I would take Cherry Bomb from where she is right now and send her to the main event! Agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know which superstar or diva you'd like to see me take to the main event.